Alright. We gotta get a corner over there. Normally I think I would probably just live stream this, but whatever. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to move it back over here. I was gonna try and use this one, but I'm like, there's not a lot for it to hold on to. We'll just use this other one. This is just temporary to move it. I probably could just move it without it. I got a bunch of crap back here. Get that out of there. Pretty nasty back here. It's not like super nasty, but I don't like it. I think I'm just trying to get it like nice and even. Ah, lovely. The end of this thing is just fucking flush. Yeah. Or, no, it's not flat. I'm not going to worry about it because this is not staying on here. But it would be nice if it was. I should be using the impact. Weird. I don't like brushless shit. It was like doing some torque limiting thing. Kind of annoying. I bought a set of rigid, brushless. Anywhere you can tell it says right there. I bought them in 2019. I went to work at an electrical company and I just bought them. They were like $200 for the set with 2 batteries. The impact driver died like a year ago, 2 years ago, and I just never sent it back. You got to pay to send it to them, but or actually no, they paid it. You just have to mail it to North Carolina, and then Eric will fix it for you. But they don't give you a box, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I need to go and file a new claim on my old one. Get a box, tape it up, take it down to FedEx, get them to print the label. That was the problem. I remember now. I couldn't get them to print the label. I don't have a printer. So, but these brushless ones, when they burn out, they smoke the board because the motor is reverse. And so you have a board that does the switching instead of the commutator and the brushes. And that's why I don't like brushless stuff. My Milwaukee stuff is all brushed. And it's got just as much power as any of the other stuff. I've even got a brushed Harbor Freight one that looks like this. And if this thing burns up, I just put new brushes in it. Or go to the swap meet and find another one, but you know. Alright, I think we can get this out of here now. We just gotta wrestle this 240 volt outlet down here. Which I hope, I'm not 100% sure if it'll clear. Ah, God. Yeah, I forgot. Oh, man, the back of there was like funky ass chipboard cabinetry on here. You guys will get to see that. Yeah, they put like little chipboard crap. Oh, man. I forgot all this junk was back here. Yeah. Wow. Ugh, I'm falling and I can't get up. Okay. So yeah. See this crap? They covered the wall with this shit for some reason. I don't know why. It was like just in a little spot. And there goes the leg. Freaking hell. I'm tangled up on something. I needed to screw it in down there, but I couldn't get to it. So let's see. You see all this nasty stuff that they had on the back of it? And they used like tack nails and stuff. So they basically ran these funny little boards. I call them funny little boards. They're like 2x3s. And they ran them up against the wall with this little thin clapboard crap. And, you know, the stuff that you would use to, like, make a drawer. And there was, like, some funky-ass cabinet that went up in an L shape around where the inverter is. So this is all really, really old crap. So I'm going to get in here. Pretty nasty. And it's all over my pants and stuff. Yeah, it's nasty stuff. So I don't know what the hell they were thinking. So this is there. So there's a board underneath here, and a board underneath here, and a board underneath here, and they have screws, so that means I put those in there. They had, I don't remember what they had going on here, but I screwed this whole piece down in here. It was just kind of sitting loose. And there was even smaller boards going across. So I don't know what the hell to do with this thing. It's like, now that we have everything out, we now get into this back of this corner and stuff, get all that cleaned up. I really don't want to put this thing back in, to be honest. But I don't have the wood to build anything from scratch at the moment. But to be honest with you, with what I want to do, I could just put a temporary table in here for the most part. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I'm so sick of the clutter and the dirt and the grime and the bugs and the crickets. I get crickets that get up in between here. I just want everything to be simple. Nice and simple. I'm not so sure about their wiring job here. It's on like a single 15 breaker for the outlets. Like there should have been, originally they had a GFI in here. They had this crap run into a GFI on a 15 amp breaker. And they went from here to here, and then there's this like wire hanging to right in the middle here, and there was a shop light. I removed the shop light and I put in these lights, and they're just LED bulbs, but it looked like some janky ass crap I would have did when I was 16, and I'm sure the person that did it was probably older than me right now. Or who knows, I don't know, but it is what it is, and we're now getting around to, I'm using up all my scraps and stuff, because I got them in the other room. We have another room in the house that it was actually the house used to have a garage. When they first built the house, it was a garage, and they removed the door and put a bay window on the front and converted it into another room. I don't know if it was used for a living space, but judged by the junk I keep digging up in the backyard and the kids' toys, I'm gonna guess there was maybe more than one family living here. Some of the old Google photos show a little bit of information, but I believe the house was built 82, 83, 84, somewhere around there. They framed the garage on 24, but I think the house is framed on 16. I'm not 100% sure about that. But now, until I had moved to Arizona, I'd never seen any kind of building like this where they put their what do you call that? Where you got the cinder block and then you got the plate, the bottom plate, I guess you call it. And I never seen that. At least they used treated wood. That was smart, right? And then they poured their concrete around the conduit, which was good. I'm really close to the panel, so anyway. Yeah, so I just gotta get this cleaned up, figure out what to do with this. I just don't even know. I'm gonna pull the rest of the crap off of here now that I can. I've never seen the back of this before. When they had all that board, I busted it out from the front. But this is about like the third or fourth time I've actually done this, but I ain't never pulled the whole thing. And I believe that this was there, and I pulled the whole thing on that and redid it. I think it was like a couple different boards. I'm like, what the hell? So I put one 2x4. But you know it's me because it's overkill with deck screws. So, anyway. God. I don't know. If you guys got any ideas, let me know. I don't really have a lot of choices as far as stuff laying around. This is the rest of everything else that came out of there. That's the Ten-Tec amp. That thing's huge. That would be such a cool amp if it wasn't so long, because like it doesn't sit on a lot of stuff like my bench compared to the Heathkit. So my goal, what I want to do, I want a bench like this, I think, but open, real open, and just have a radio, an amp, and a tuner, and a computer. And I don't want all the clutter. So this is my bench. So all I really have to do is just rebuild that thing completely flat to how I want it. And I don't need all 3 sheets of this on there. This is red oak. It's just filthy dirty because this is like, probably bought it when we first moved here, so like 2017. And then this one here is from like a year or two ago. And trying to think of what these are both red oak, and then the top one is the other half of that one. Yeah, I love plywood, man. You know, it works great for lots of stuff, and as long as you actually don't have to look at that too much, it actually looks pretty good. But could you imagine having one made out of OSB? I mean, a lot of my shelves are made out of OSB. This is all reclaimed wood from a job site, except for a few sheets. I buy 2x4s usually. You don't usually find them that long at a job site. But it is an old restaurant tabletop. But I built all of this stuff. I usually build this kind of style, like what they call like robo benches. People used to call them that, where you frame it around it. Not normally open on the bottom like that. I guess this one might be that way. So it's framed around that way with 2x4s, and it's framed around that way with 2x4s. And when you do that, it's actually framed 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And I was actually going to turn it into like a wooden toolbox. I just never got around to doing it. And then you started stacking stuff in there, and then I built some other shelves out of the stuff, because they were building a house down the street and they just kept filling the dumpster, and I grabbed all this stuff. So if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you probably remember when I was like building shelves for days. And all this stuff actually used to be over here, and this thing was 3 high. That's why I have 3 of these. There was 3 high, and I pulled it all out and started to go over here with it. So man, look at this thing. I mean, you know, we could probably get it back in there. It's just made completely wrong, you know, that's the problem. The way to do it is 2 8-foot 2x4s and 4 legs, and it should be 4 feet high. It shouldn't be whatever the hell this is. It should be as high as this. This is 4 feet high, I'm pretty sure. Well, no, it's not 4 feet. What is that? 3? God, I'm not good at this stuff, guys. I'm lucky if I can stay focused. Okay, so a file cabinet is about 29 inches tall, and then it's not even 3 feet. So, but I would say that 34 inches is pretty good. 33 3/4. So, I don't know where this one sits at. A little on the low side, but you stack a couple of things and you're at 29. This one's sitting at 27.5. So what I need to do is get this out of my way, stop worrying about this, and get this done.